Comedy movies used to flood Hollywood, but now they're weirdly hard to find. Sure, most modern blockbusters still sprinkle in jokes whether they fit or not.
It's never too late to stop being a dick.
Boring!
But awkward one-liners aren't really the same as a movie that's confident in its comedy and isn't afraid to push the boundaries. You know the kind I mean. I'm talking about the kind of lines that stick with you on the drive home, and somehow you're still quoting it days, months, even years later. Yeah, it's been a while. Because for a genre that used to dominate theaters, strong standalone comedy movies feel strangely distant. In this video, I'm looking at 3 of my favorite comedies of the last decade. Films that actually made me laugh and reminded me what the genre can still be when it's done right.
He just left.
Let's get into it.
There's like whores here and stuff.
Sweetheart, how many times have I told you don't say and stuff?
First up is one of my favorite comedies and a film that everyone collectively agrees needs a sequel. Seriously, why hasn't there been a sequel? This movie has everything. Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, a sleazy 1970s Los Angeles Ryan Gosling, and comedy, comedy, comedy. We follow bumbling Private Eye Holland March and tough enforcer Jackson Healy as they're caught up in a case involving a missing girl and the mysterious death of an adult film star called Misty Mountains. They start as each other's target until something much larger unfolds. They must work together to find the girl, solve the case, and get a stiff drink on the house.
Free drinks, what do you have?
If you looked at the last 5 movies of our leading men, you never would have predicted they'd work as a comedic duo. But Crowe's staunch masculinity and Gosling's, well, golden retriever tendencies deliver some of the best buddy cop chemistry.
Hello.
There's a scene where Healy confronts March in the bathroom of a bowling alley, and the physical comedy as March juggles his cigarette, magazine, gun, and swinging stall door is just too good. It's moments like these that feel so stupid,
What do you want?
but they're so endearing to the characters that it just works. This movie is filled with these moments. You could be laughing in one scene, completely locked in the next, as these characters are so well written, there's depth and trauma and level beneath the hilarious surface. Like when March looks at "You will never be happy" written on his hand after a long night of binge drinking. He's the goofy, sloppy, personable, funny guy, but the underlying theme of addiction and grieving rings throughout the movie. It's the perfect balance that makes for a well-rounded watch between comedy and knowing when to be serious.
Let me kill Holly.
So much here just works and is really funny. We really need a sequel. Give the people what they want, Shane Black. We know where you live.
Any plans for this evening? Perhaps a game night?
On paper, this movie doesn't seem like it has much going for it. I mean, a movie about millennials who love hosting game nights. So you can imagine how stupid I felt when I finally watched it and it totally ruled.
Let's get drunk!
I never shut up about this movie when someone is yapping about underrated films because it seemed to release with little marketing and then just disappear.
Do not test me right now.
It puts you in the shoes of game night hosts of the year, Max and Annie, who have a tradition of spending weekends playing board games with their closest friends. They're fiercely competitive and kinda perfect for each other until the struggles of having children arise thanks to Max's feelings of inadequacy compared to his successful, handsome brother Brooks.
What is it about your brother that makes you feel emasculated?
Are we gonna do this?
During one of their usual game nights, Brooks suddenly rolls into town driving Max's dream car and within minutes hijacks the evening and announces he'll be hosting the next game night at his ridiculously fancy house.
This will be a game night to remember.
Why the fuck would he say that?
The idea is that someone will be kidnapped and the group has to solve the crime through a series of clues. But when the break-in actually happens and Brooks is actually kidnapped, the guests just sit there watching, thinking it's part of the game.
That was really good.
Instead of calling the police, they get to solving the mystery. The directions this movie takes are so unpredictable. What starts as a simple dinner party unfolds in so many unexpected ways, from fancy fight clubs to Rachel McAdams stick-ups to strangely strong glass tables.
Man, glass tables are acting weird tonight.
There's also the great addition of creepy Jesse Plemons as the neighborhood cop, shunned from game night after his rough divorce. The man is unbelievably creepy, but his desperation to rejoin game night is too funny amidst the rest of the chaos.
Where'd he go?
Another one of my favorite scenes is when Michelle, a friend of the group, talks about the celebrity she hooked up with during a break she was on with her current partner, Kevin. After Kevin tries over and over to figure out who it was, Michelle finally reveals, and the story that comes after is so funny you'll forget you still have half the movie left. Game night could have easily fallen into the trap of similar movies that didn't quite land, but I think what worked is the polished filmmaking that really gets the most out of the strong chemistry between Bateman and McAdams. And it's not just them either. The whole cast works really well here in a world that's as thrilling as it is funny. The main jokes are great, but the subtle ones you pick up on with a rewatch have you really laughing just as hard. Rather than play charades with a bunch of lemons, go and watch Game Night and have the laugh you deserve. Go on, go right now. Well, after this video, of course.
Paddington 2 is incredible.
Before the great Pedro Pascal fatigue of 2025, there was the unbearable weight of massive talent, a movie that somehow united audience and critic scores alike and became one of my favorite comedies of 2022. Pascal stars alongside the legendary Nicolas Cage, who plays, well, Nick Cage, a struggling Hollywood actor on the last legs of his career. You good, Nick?
What a way to fucking go.
The man gets a break when he's offered a cool $1 million to attend billionaire superfan Harvey's birthday party. It's incredibly meta, which feels trendy these days, but it really works thanks to Cage's undying commitment to the bit. Pascal also feels at his best here, not resisting the chaos of it all, but leaning into Cage's energy to really bounce off each other quite well. The movie escalates when the CIA get involved, revealing they're investigating the billionaire and want Cage's help to uncover Harvey's connection to an international crime ring. So naturally, Cage has to channel the very characters that made him famous to pull out of his slump and do some spy shit. Throughout the movie, Cage confronts an exaggerated version of his past self in a hilarious split performance that wouldn't suit anyone except him.
I'm trying to help you and you won't listen!
You'll recognize a lot of familiar tropes, but they work because the film doesn't take itself too seriously. An example of this is when the CIA tasks Cage with using a powerful paralytic drug. Of course, he immediately touches his own forehead, kicking off a frantic life or death race to reach the antidote before the drug takes him out forever. It's familiar to Daniel Craig's Casino Royale scene, but it doesn't feel overdone. Of course it's not all at this pace though, as we spend a lot of downtime just existing with the characters. Like when Cage asks Harvey about his favourite movie, Harvey answers,
Paddington 2.
and Cage absolutely loses his mind.
What?
Until he watches it.
Paddington 2 is incredible.
I still have no idea how this film slipped under the radar. It's such a weird concept, blending meta comedy with full-on secret agent spoof, but it still works. Cage isn't as eccentric as most of his experimental projects, and Pedro just feels like the right match across from him. They're both dialed in and it makes for a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely worth checking out, and if you have, you probably already know exactly how much fun it is. Go watch it again.
It's classic.
Feels like a completely different movie.
Javi, please walk down the road with me on this.
So that's 3 of my favorite comedies of the last 10 years. It's a genre that's truly close to my heart, but has sadly felt non-existent of late. It's hard to say whether it's changing times or the prevalence of straight to streaming over theatrical releases. But whatever it is, there needs to be a resurgence because at a time like now, I really think we need a laugh. Comment your top comedies of the last 10 years. Share some of your recommendations down below. And hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to do all that subscribe, like, notification stuff.
Cool, I'm up for some stuff.
Or not, I don't know. Bye.